Have you ever walked into someone's home and instantly felt peaceful? Not because it was expensive, not because it looked perfect, but because everything felt calm. The bed was made, the counters were clear, the room felt quiet in a way you could almost feel physically. And without realizing it, your body relaxed. Most people think cleanliness is just a habit. Psychology says it's often something much deeper. Because people who keep their homes clean usually are not just organizing their space. They are regulating their mind. Your environment affects your brain far more than most people realize. Every object your eyes see gets processed by your nervous system. The pile of clothes in the corner, the unopened boxes, the dishes in the sink, the random clutter covering a table. Your brain quietly registers all of it as unfinished information. Psychologists call this visual clutter, and visual clutter creates mental noise. Even when you think you're ignoring it, your brain is still tracking it in the background. That's why messy spaces can make people feel strangely tired, irritated, or overwhelmed without understanding why. Meanwhile, clean environments send the opposite signal: safety, clarity, control. For many people, cleaning is not about being obsessed with neatness. It's about creating emotional stability, because when life feels chaotic, people naturally search for something they can control. And sometimes wiping the counter or making a bed becomes a small way of telling the mind, we're okay. Interestingly, people who keep their homes clean often share similar psychological traits. Many are highly self-aware. They notice details other people ignore: a crooked picture frame, dust on a shelf, a room that feels off, even when nobody else notices it. Their minds process environments more deeply, which means clutter affects them more emotionally than it affects other people. That's why some people genuinely cannot relax in a messy room. It's not drama. Their brain simply stays overstimulated. A messy environment keeps part of their attention trapped in the background, constantly reminding them that something still needs to be handled. Clean spaces remove that tension, and because of that, cleaning often feels less like a chore and more like release. Psychologists also connect this behavior to a personality trait called conscientiousness. Conscientious people tend to be more organized, disciplined, responsible, and future-oriented. They naturally feel better when things have structure. That's why many people who love clean spaces also love routines. Making the bed every morning, putting things back immediately, cleaning before sleeping. These tiny rituals create predictability, and predictability calms the nervous system. But there's another layer most people never think about. Sometimes cleaning is an act of care. A clean home says, I want people to feel comfortable here. It becomes a quiet form of love. Parents cleaning for their children, someone preparing their house before friends visit, a person organizing a room because they want their partner to feel relaxed. In those moments, cleanliness becomes emotional communication. And strangely enough, cleaning can even become therapeutic. Sorting, folding, sweeping, organizing, these repetitive movements calm the mind the same way meditation can. Because when your hands become focused, your thoughts often become quieter too. That's why after cleaning, many people say the same thing: I feel lighter. Not because the room changed, because they changed. The external order created internal calm, and maybe that's the real reason clean spaces feel so powerful. They give the mind permission to rest. So if you're someone who feels better when your environment is clean, you're not weird, you're not controlling. You may simply be someone whose nervous system feels safest in peaceful spaces. And honestly, that makes perfect sense. Because sometimes cleaning your room isn't really about the room at all. Sometimes it's about trying to create a little peace inside yourself. One shelf, one drawer, one quiet corner at a time.